Okay. Hi.
That's awesome. Nobody's ever said hi. You're the first. Hi, this is Tipsy. I like that. Put it in there.
Like Mr. Cotter.
Yes.
Hi there.
Hi there.
This is Tipsy Cups from Whiskey Tongue Burlesque. And you are listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com.
Can you dig it?
Yes, I can.
You're supposed to say, I can dig it.
I know.
See, you did. I knew you knew it, but you were thinking about it.
He was like, no one ever gets it right. And I was like, well, no, I have to.
Well, I do that on purpose because I use these for later on in other shows.
Oh, well, that's fine.
So, we've got blackmail material going here.
I don't see anything wrong with saying, yes, I can.
It doesn't fit the mold.
You're expecting me to fit a mold.
Absolutely.
Do you realize what you've just said?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of
Your
frightening.
ears should start bleeding out or something. Like.
We're just seeing how much influence the Bone Doggie's got. Try it again, and I'll say, can you dig it? And you say, I can dig it.
All right.
All right. Here you go. Real time. No pressure.
Oh, man. Okay. Hi there.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it again.
I'm gonna quit making you laugh. All right. Here you go.
Okay, it's real this time.
There you go.
This is Tipsy Cups from Whiskey Tongue Burlesque, and you're listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com.
Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
I knew that you could.
See, I got it right that time.
You did. That was beautiful. That was
now you don't have to take me out back and beat me.
I wouldn't do that anyway because, well, one, because I wouldn't do that, and two, I'm scared to death of you. So.
I don't know why.
Your Highness, I plan to produce a review. The most spectacular review that Paris has ever seen. I plan to make you the star of it.
If you do not leave at once, monsieur, I shall ring for my butler.
But this number will simply knock your eye out.
Did you get a load of that Duchess? Isn't she a honey?
Yes, sweet.
Beach Girls and the Monster. Starring John Hall, Sue Casey, and the glamorous Watusi dancing girls from Hollywood's famed Whiskey A Go-Go nightclub.
Welcome, friends, to Boston. And may your stay in our happy little community be a gay one that you'll remember always.
Always. Excuse me, I want to try this again.
I think, friends, it's time for us to call a halt.
Kind of amble down Radio Lane.
That's right. Close the door until the next time. And hope that all of you have a cool, pleasant weekend. Oh, just a minute.
Wait a minute. We've made a discrepancy in time.
We have 5 minutes left.
I don't know how we could have misread the clock that much.
I don't know. Something about that clock that fools me. But
well, I could go on like this all afternoon.
The story is that hand that keeps moving just won't stop long enough for us to read it. It's very confusing having that hand going continually. Well,
suppose you could fill with something, couldn't you?
It's Doggie Time. Let's try it again. This is only the
But
second.
I can't interrupt you while you're doing your rant.
Well, I'll cue you.
Okay.
You can interrupt. I don't care.
I am going to laugh when you say mounting.
Mounted. All right. Oh,
See, you said mounting, and now you're talking about cats and kittens, man.
Okay, fine. I am your host. This is your host. We were your host. This is... damn it, now I can't remember.
I think he's lost his mind.
I've lost my mind. Okay, here we go. I do this every week. Paws up, my cats and kittens. You are listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com. I am your host and humble narrator, Bone Doggie, here to remind you that grim-visaged war has smoothed its wrinkled front, and now, instead of mounting barbed steeds to fright the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in the lady's chamber to the lascivious pleasings of the lute.
Let's see what you did there. You said mounting, ladies' chamber, lascivious. I mean, I don't understand how I'm not supposed to turn that into something dirty.
Because my mama's listening to this show. I told you about that.
Well, then you should never have had me on. You did this to yourself.
Are you kidding? I had two bartenders on here three or four episodes ago. So, yeah, it was so funny. They behaved themselves, and then we had to bring out the blooper reel. So anyway, we are here on Doggie Time, and we got a special guest in the studio tonight. You're going to be hanging around with us all night long. And we will introduce you to her later, but we're not going to do that now because we just don't want to encourage her. She's a dangerous human being.
I don't need encouragement.
You really don't, do you? No.
I encourage myself.
I know. You walk down that road whenever. Well, honey, I'm going to introduce you. I'll go ahead and introduce you. We got Tipsy Cups from Whiskey Tongue Burlesque is sitting here. And in reality, and we'll probably talk about this later on, it is Angel Sinai.
I'm here in my pajamas.
In your pajamas.
With no makeup on. That's the joy of radio.
That's right. That's right. I'm in a tuxedo with clown shoes, and I'm smoking a cigar.
I mean, wait, I'm in a ball gown and stuff. Yeah, I can't even lie. I'm in my pajamas.
Wearing a New York Rangers hockey outfit. So anyway, we're sitting here in the studio.
Wearing pajamas with polar bears on them.
I know. Yeah, they do have little polar bears. That's pretty awesome.
They were Christmas presents.
So you really don't have to dress up for radio, do you?
No, that's the good part.
It is. It's cool. They can imagine what they want to out there and just go with it. Right.
Sometimes it makes me wonder why I started doing burlesque, because I don't like putting on all these costumes. I mean, I like looking at them and making them, but I don't like putting them on and wearing them. And
that's why you take them off.
Yeah, and then I don't put them back on. I walk around after the show in my underwear and pasties.
That's for later part in the show. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's going on, and this is exciting here at DentonRadio.com. One of the amazing things is we have actually got a snot load of. I'm not sure if that's the right phrase for this.
Is that some kind of joke since my allergies are bothering me?
Probably so. But we advocate NyQuil on here. Big Y,
NyQuil.
Big N, little Y, big freaking Q, NyQuil. That's right.
It's good stuff.
That's our commercial. I know. And I wish that NyQuil was one of our sponsors. And
we would have gotten a lot of money for that.
I know it. It would have been huge.
Or you would have gotten a lot of money for that.
This is very cool. This is what's going on in the lovely town of Denton. Denton Square Donuts over there on, I guess it's Oak Street, right?
Donuts, yeah.
Donuts.
I still have not been
It's
there.
one of the things I loved about you. We love chocolate, and we love donuts, and we love whiskey.
I just like my arteries being clogged. I figure it takes off the last 5 years where you'll be wearing Depends and you're not having a good time.
Well, that's
anyway,
something to work for anyway. Something to work towards. But Denton Square Donuts they are going to start playing DentonRadio.com exclusively in their donut shop. Is that not
that's exciting.
Awesome? That is very cool.
Yet another reason to go in there.
That's right.
Maybe I'll actually go in.
Yeah, and get a donut and take your NyQuil, just in case you don't slobber all over the place. But we've got
I don't know if I want to eat a donut and then take some NyQuil. That could probably end in some.
But Denton Square Donuts.
Because then I got to drive home.
They okay, fine. I'll drive you home if you don't make it, as long as I don't have any NyQuil. If that's the case, then we'll just get a taxi. And then end up going to a bar like we always do. So,
I can't even tie my shoes when I'm taking some NyQuil.
I know. It's great stuff.
Bad.
It's great stuff. So anyway, Denton Square Donuts has joined us in the ranks of our customers and our advertisers, along with the likes of Abbey Underground and Abbey Inn. We've also got Dan Silverleaf, and Dan Silverleaf has been great. We've been doing shows at Dan Silverleaf, and coming up May 21st here, which is a Tuesday night, which is very bizarre. Yeah, Tuesday night, and that's rough. Tuesday night for the Hickory Street Hellraisers is like 8 o'clock in the morning. It hardly exists.
Yeah.
We have to force ourselves. But
the only thing that could be worse is Monday.
I know. So Tuesday night, May 21st, Dan Silverleaf. You got 1140, my boys 1140. Gravity Feed, and of course, Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraiser is going to be there. That's one of the great things about it.
Hey, I know that guy.
You do. You know him, and he probably owes you money, so that works out real good. But we do these gigs. Our DentonRadio.com gig.
I did not know that.
Yeah, we just started it. it. We've had some good shows. We got some good ones coming up. Community Market. We're going to start doing the third Saturday of every month. We're going to have some live music out there. Remember Art 6?
Yes, I didn't even know they closed, and then I drove by there one day.
It's called 2 B's and a V, Coffee House and Comfort Zone.
You want to?
They've got two B's and a V. They do beer,
2 B's and a V.
beer and beverages, and vino. So they do beer and wine
okay.
now.
That's clever.
New management. Olivia apparently has gone on her merry way, and new guys take it over. And it's a coffee house, but they've also got beer and wine, a lot like Banter.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is also a music venue. So
Do they also serve food there?
I think they do. I'm not sure if they put a full-blown kitchen in because I don't know if they've got a grease trap or not. So, but that's an inside back of the house thing.
I'm gonna laugh like I get it.
There you go. Thank you. And then we've also got Happy's. Now this is weird. You'll love this place out in Aubrey. We've been doing the Doggie Biscuit Flower Hour. We play out there once a month. Used to be called Happy's, and then it changed management. Now it's called Heartbreaks and Hangovers. I know, that's pretty awesome.
It's pretty sweet.
It's kind of ironic, really, if you think about it. And maybe
I wonder what kind of people that's going to attract.
Heartbreaks and hangovers. There's a lot of cowboy boots and a lot of Lone Star beer out there, but we have a great time, and they treat us like a king.
Yeah, I like that place. It was nice.
We take the guy. Yeah, Josh played out there when it was Happy's.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh from the Deadpan Poets played out there, and we had a good night. It was really fun. And then we got Hoochie's Oyster House. Have you eaten over there yet? It's off of Bell.
No, I pass it every time I go to work and come home.
I've heard brilliant things about that place.
Yeah, I've heard good things. My boss went there and said it was really good.
We're gonna have to go check that out. So, but we're up there every Monday night, and we have live music up there. Razor Ranch, the new thing over there off the highway. We're gonna start doing music there. And of course, we do Banter and all of that. And then one of our newest customers, The Lab. And
cool.
You know what I love about The Lab is Thursday night, it's cheap. I mean, you can get
like cheap stuff.
Yeah, you can get like whiskey and Coke for like $3. It's awesome. It's awesome. So anyway, there's a lot going on as far as Denton Radio goes, as far as getting advertisers and stuff like that. And we're putting gigs around town all over the place. To me, the one that was really exciting, of course, is Abbey Underground. I was like,
yeah, I love that place. So much fun.
Two Charlies, just started doing the open mic up there.
I've never been there before.
You've never been to Charlie's?
Well, I mean, I went.
Well, you had the last time you guys showed up.
But I'd never been there before.
It's kind of the Hellraiser's home from home. Yeah, we hang out at Charlie's.
Well, doesn't Abby work there?
The Duchess works up there, yes.
Oh, the Duchess, excuse me.
She runs the place, basically. She's their fireman. Somebody quits or gets fired. She's the one that ends up taking their shift, which makes it hell to do a rehearsal now and then.
I bet.
Yeah. But anyway, that's, my cats and kittens, there's a lot going on with Denton Radio. We've got all of these gigs that we're starting to put around town. And, of course, we've got our regulars, Caleb Kumrad and Caravana, Ellie Meyer and Ellie Morris. Just a ton of singer-songwriters. We're dragging Deadpan Poets, kicking and screaming into that little group. You've got the Hellraisers, 1140, Mockingbird Station, Levi Cobb and the Big Smokes, Sonar Lights, Soul Tax, Brave Combo. I mean,
He's just dropping names left and right.
We're taking up a lot of time here, but it's awesome, though. Denton Radio has really gone insane. It's gone crazy.
Yeah, I remember when you wanted to do a magazine.
Originally, we're working on that. We're actually working on doing a magazine. So, but anyway, my dear, we could sit here and yak all night long.
Yes, we could.
Which is probably what we're going to end up doing anyway. We've got an interview to conduct, but first, I think we need to conduct a little bit of business.
Uh-oh.
So let's do that.
I thought this was all going to be fun.
You thought it was what?
Thought it was all going to be fun.
Well, no, you got to pay the bills. That's Doggy Time Radio gold right there. I'll pay money for that sigh. All right, sweetie, we are going to do this show. So push the button, Max.
Hey everybody, this is Karina Michaela. There are a lot of music venues in Denton, but I wanted to take this time to talk really quick about one I care about very much. Banter, a bistro at 219 West Oak Street, is one of the greatest places to play in Denton. From the open mic to CD releases, all of the artists there come together and support each other. The community at Banter is one unlike any other venue. Everyone is always inviting, complimentary, and true friends of every musician there. If you are an artist looking for a community that will embrace you, Banter is certainly the place you need to be. The address again is 219 West Oak Street, and their website is dentonbanter.com. Come hang out, get a sandwich or some hummus, and take in the local Denton music scene. Thursday night is open mic, and you are going to want to check that out. See you then!
May as well enjoy the sparkling lights. No point in putting up a fight.
And now, friends, another edition of Bam Bam Cares.
If you're going to construct a giant Tesla coil in your living room to simulate lightning for your Thor vlog, watch where you set your Yoo-hoo. Bam Bam Cares.
Tune in next week, friends, for another edition of Bam Bam Cares.
Doggy time.
Doggy time.
Doggy time.
Doggy time.
Doggy time.
It's doggy time. Pause up, my cats and kittens. This is your host and humble narrator, Bone Doggie, here to remind you to tune in to Doggy Time, which can be heard Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. here on DentonRadio.com. Doggy Time will fill your musical plate with such culinary goodies as local information, innuendo, murder, mayhem, and of course, the good old-fashioned family fun that is local Denton music. You'll also get the benefit, my cats and kittens, of hearing directly from our good friends, the likes of Soul Police, Backwater Opera, My Kick Drum Heart, and the occasional Hickory Street Hellraiser, just to name a few. Now, we understand, my cats and kittens, that you can't always be in front of one of these digital contraptions at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday night. Well, old Bone Doggie has got some joyous news in which to caress your earbones. You can listen to Doggy Time anytime simply by tuning in to DentonRadio.com and clicking on the banner that supports your humble narrator's visage. Or, if you'd like a direct approach, go to DentonRadio.com/Doggy Time, DOGGIETIME, where you will not only hear the latest episode of Doggy Time, you will be presented with a veritable cornucopia of past episodes, all at your digital fingertips. So feel free, my cats and kittens, to sit back, relax, and at your leisure, listen to Doggy Time anytime on DentonRadio.com. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
I can dig it.
I can dig it.
I can dig it. I can dig it.
I knew that you could. Good evening and welcome to Discovery Forum. I am your host, Dieter Dweezil, and tonight's guest is the world-class famous explorer, archaeologist, and director of weird studies at the University of Waterloo, Professor Hildegard Vanderbolge. Good evening, Professor Vanderbolge.
Good evening, Mr. Dweezil.
It is so good to have you on the show tonight.
Why, thank you, Mr. Woozle. It's frickin' sweet to be here.
Yes, I don't seem to have any notes here, but you seem to have someone with you. Would you be so kind as to introduce your associate?
Well, Mr. Weasel, isn't it obvious?
I'm sorry?
This is Bigfoot.
What's up, homeboy?
Bigfoot?
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, dude.
Forgive me for being a bit obtruse, Professor.
Whatever.
But the usual sobriquet for Bigfoot is generally known as a 7-foot-tall, 500-pound hairy beast. What you have here seems to be a 5'7" Puerto Rican.
He cleans up very nice, doesn't he? We had to use a ton of hair remover.
Only dragons now I smell like strawberry.
Right. Well, Professor, could you tell us how you came to discover this
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, yes.
Well, Mr. Woozle, it's quite a fascinating story. I was on a government-subsidized hiking, camping, and getting back to nature expedition in the northwest region of North America at the time. One very dark night while I was performing the ancient Navajo ritual of nude communion with the forest mushroom goddess Arbabilla, I heard a terrible howling-type noise emanating from a nearby creek bed.
Yeah, I'm not a really good singer.
And being a world-class famous explorer, archaeologist, and director of weird studies at the University of Waterloo, naturally I had to rush and see the cause of this terrible noise.
I was trying to do Dio. Ride the tiger!
I made my way through that thicket, and I eventually came face to face with the discovery of a lifetime. It was very exciting.
Scared the hell out of me.
Right. So let me get this straight. You're dancing around alone in the forest.
Yes, with the nude forest mushroom goddess Arbabilla.
Yes, of course. And you hear a noise, so you investigate and run across this Sasquatch here.
Hey, You can't say that.
I beg your pardon?
You can't say Sasquatch. That's our word. You can't say it.
So, Professor, you came face to face with Mr. Bigfoot here. What did you do next?
We had an intellectual discussion.
Oh my God.
And I eventually convinced this big fella to allow me to introduce him to my colleagues and prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Bigfoot exists.
And how has the scientific community reacted to your earth-shattering discovery?
They're pretty skeptical so far.
Oh, I can't imagine why.
I know, right? So we decided to conduct a series of scientific symposiums across the country to create awareness of the plight of our furry Earth brothers.
Yeah, being Bigfoot sucks. Every time someone chases you around with a camera, you gotta make yourself all blurry, and that ain't easy.
So we're starting our tour in the town of Denton, Texas, where we understand that there's a broad spectrum of social and environmental enlightenment.
And some pretty good live music, too. That's what I'm all about. Denton music. Rock, jazz, country, hippity-hop, cha-cha-cha.
Well, Professor, we wish you and your discovery all the luck. I'm sure that the Denton community will be weighted with breathy anticipation of the prospect of witnessing this breathtaking exhibition.
Why, thank you, Mr. Doorstep, and all praise to the forest mushroom goddess Herbivilla.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's all the time we have for this week. Be sure to tune in to Discovery Forum next week, where we'll either have a new producer or my agent and his lawyer as a guest. This is Dieter Dweezil speaking.
Give peace a chance. All we are saying.
All right, my cats and kittens, it is time once again for the wonderful part of the show where we drag some poor unsuspecting soul in off the street and interview them repeatedly until they say goodnight. And tonight we have a treat, my cats and kittens. This is a dear friend of mine. I've known this young lady for a considerable amount of time. She's not nearly as old as Bone Doggie is.
I am in the brain.
You are in the brain. Yes, you are.
I'm
You
like
are
8
in the
years
brain.
old in my brain.
That's right. But I don't know. We've known each other for several years, and we've had musicians on here. We've had artists. We've had producers. We've actually even had bartenders. But tonight is a treat. This is the first time we've ever had a real live, honest to goodness burlesque performer on the Doggy Time show.
Scandalous.
That's right. It is scandalous, which is, I'm looking forward to it. So anyway, what we want you to do is give it up for our dear friend Tipsy Cups from Whiskey Tongue Burlesque.
I like it when people give it up.
You'd like Okay, we know where this show's going to go right now. Thank you, dear, for coming out. It's really nice of you to do this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Doggie. This is exciting. I feel like a real star.
You are. For at least 15 people out there in the audience, you're a mega superstar. And plus, you can listen to the show anytime you want to. Now, I'm going to say this. Your real name is Angela Sinai.
Yes, it is.
I call you Angel. Always have.
For a while there, I thought you thought my name was Angel.
No, I do that to people. I never call anybody by their real name anyway. But I've known you as Angel forever. And then you showed up one day, and you were suddenly dancing burlesque, and your name was suddenly Tipsy Cups.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it happened.
Is that exactly how it happened?
Well, no, I started like in 2008, kind of off and on. But I didn't know what I was doing, and I'm really glad there's not really.
What got you interested in actually getting up? I know you are a musician, right? So you have performed.
I don't know about that. Maybe back in the day.
Back in the day.
Not so much now.
I've seen this woman with, is it a viola or a violin?
I played the guitar.
Okay, so
You've seen me with a violin bass.
I've seen you with the violin bass.
But
okay.
I don't actually
And I've seen you with the guitar, so you do that. But what actually prompted you into trying dance and trying burlesque?
Well, I had no dance experience, which I think you can probably tell when you see me on stage. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, sometimes too much training can be bad, although a little bit would be nice.
Yeah.
Which I'm working on that. Classes are expensive.
Yes.
But I grew up a tomboy. I wanted to wear dresses and makeup and stuff, but I just wasn't comfortable doing it. You know, like
Right.
I'm really, really honestly shy, and I don't like being the center of attention. And so I thought, I had all these things I wanted to do, but I was too scared to do them.
Right.
And so I finally decided that I was a grown woman and I should not be scared of that. So here I am now with purple and blue hair, and I wear crazy
You do have
makeup.
purple and blue hair and turquoise and
yeah,
all that.
but I thought it'd be fun. I thought it would be a challenge, just something different, and just a way to be creative.
Right.
And it's opened up a lot of avenues. I mean,
Cool.
I do Punker Bell designs.
Right.
And I started making mini top hats and costume pieces, and I wouldn't be doing that if it wasn't for burlesque. So.
Right. And so you joined up with a local troupe here, and then eventually you hooked up with Lemmy Adams. And,
I actually met her. We worked at the same day job for a little while,
Right.
and she wasn't even there that long, maybe like a month or so.
Right.
But we just kept in touch, and one day I was texting back and forth with her while I was at work, and I was like, hey, we should do burlesque together. And she was like, yeah, totally. I didn't know that she had an interest in it because she was in a band at the time, and I thought
she's a lead singer for, what was the name?
White Girl.
White Girl, yes, that's right.
And I just thought she was like a rock and roll singer. I didn't know she wanted to do burlesque, and it took us months of hanging out in her craft room, and we would meet up after our day jobs about 7 o'clock and just
Right.
work and talk and scheme. And then we started doing shows with people in Dallas, like being in other people's shows.
Right.
One of those very early people was Miss Nikki Trash, which you
Nikki
met
Trash
her.
is
Yeah.
My Cats and Kittens. If you have not seen Nikki Trash, it is quite the experience.
Yeah, look up "fabulous" in a dictionary, and you'll see Nikki Trash.
Nikki, first time I saw Nikki Trash, Nikki came out with a Snoopy costume.
Yeah, did the
head to
furry routine. Yeah,
head to toe in a
Love that
Snoopy
one.
costume, and then all of a sudden the Snoopy costume come off, and there is just this wild looking individual.
yeah. I've never
You know.
seen. I mean, of course, I've seen drag before, but she
Right.
doesn't just do straight up drag. I mean, it's like her own combination of all this stuff.
A
But yeah,
little bit of everything.
The
I mean,
first time I was on stage with her, she hit me with a balloon flogger.
Right.
So
Good old fashioned family fun there. That's
yeah. There's more to it, but
So you guys started performing in Dallas and all of
yeah,
that.
just being in
and
other
then-
people's shows, and
Right.
then we decided to have our own show here.
Yes, you did.
And of course, the one in Andy's.
Yep. And that was the first
That was an experience.
the first Whiskey Tongue Burlesque show.
Yeah, that was the very first one, and but we didn't really know what we were doing. We didn't really know how to promote it, and then we decided to start having shows at Mabel Peabody's here in Denton. And that first anniversary show, which it was a first anniversary for me and Lemmy doing Whiskey Tongue. It wasn't
Right.
really for the
And,
troupe.
and
so
just
to
so you
speak,
know,
but-
my Cats and Kittens, Bone Doggie, and the Hickory Street Hellraisers played both of those shows.
Yeah.
And that was a blast. That was
there
so
were
much
like
fun.
200 people in
Yeah.
Mabel's. I mean, it was just, there was like a 20-minute wait at the bar. It was insane. And it was just so cool to feel like, oh, well, I guess we finally kind of broke it into the community a little bit, especially being in Denton. And there's not really a burlesque scene here.
Right.
We're trying to build one up. That's kind of why we stayed here as opposed to going to Dallas.
Right.
Dallas has got a great
well,
scene.
there's 50 venues down in Dallas. They all do, there's a ton of burlesque in Dallas,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you don't really have any up here.
No, and Denton's a different crowd. I mean, people don't always know what to make of burlesque. They don't know how they're supposed to react sometimes.
Right.
I mean, fortunately at Mabel's, we don't really have this issue. But, even the couple Abby shows I did with, the Hellraisers, the crowd was a little like, oh, are we supposed to clap? Or, what are we supposed to do? So you kind of have to get them worked
I don't know.
up.
The
but-
impression I got from both Hellraiser shows with Abbey Underground was everybody loved it.
Yeah.
It was just was fun.
You don't necessarily have like a burlesque scene here, but I mean, there's
Right.
people who can appreciate it and do
Yes.
appreciate it, and we just thought it was time.
And they're
to
not
give them a
all
show.
dirty old men.
No,
either.
not at all.
In
I
fact,
mean-
the women love the burlesque show. At least
man.
everybody I've talked to, because when you guys are up there doing the thing, and I kind of wheedle my way through the audience, and what do you think of this, and what do you think of this? The women just love it. They think it's great.
Women and a lot of gay men.
Yeah.
They love they love burlesque. I mean, it's really cool. It's kind of surprising. You would think it would be all like creepy straight men, but no. I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of people out there that really appreciate it as an art form.
There's all those guys out there look like Bone Doggie. Oh my gosh! Oh, this is horrible. But let's talk about this. What is, in your humble opinion, which has never been humble as far as I remember?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm very
define-
opinionated, but I'm pretty humble too.
Define, my dear, my princess, burlesque.
Oh man,
in
that's
your
like
opinion.
the worst question you've asked.
I know, it's terrible. But modern burlesque. How do you look at it? How do you see it?
I don't know. I mean, again, for me personally, I mean, modern burlesque, it's so different from just straight up classic burlesque. Like
Classic burlesque, was that just stripping? Really? I mean, back in the candy bar days and back in the...
I guess you would say to a degree. I mean, obviously, they also had... I mean, it wasn't just stripping. I mean, it was about the
Exotic
tease.
dancer,
I mean, you
right.
had someone like Gypsy
Rose Lee.
Gypsy Rose Lee, who, I mean,
classic Gypsy
when
Rose
she
Lee.
first got on stage, she took off a glove.
Right.
And that was it. And people went insane. Of course, it was more scandalous at that time. Or
Right.
something like that. I mean, now it would kind of be like, okay.
You didn't finish. Get back out here
Yeah,
and do this,
like, what are you doing?
But there was Gypsy Rose Lee, and there was that's where Betty Page.
Yeah.
She did a bit of that as well, mostly film.
I think a common misconception as far as modern burlesque goes, people always ask me, so is it like the movie burlesque with Cher and Christina Aguilera? And I kind of want to smash them in the face.
That means no.
Because I mean, I haven't seen the movie personally. I've
Right.
seen like a couple of, clips on YouTube and photos. It's not like that at all.
Right. I haven't seen the movie. I probably will go to my grave, without seeing it. But it's not like it is on television, is it?
No, not all. I mean, some might argue. I mean, as far as like backstage, it's not quite as glamorous
Right.
as some people would think. I mean, you end up with pasty tape everywhere, and you got fishnets that are dirty, and you got to go home and hand wash them,
Right.
And, stuff like that.
And theoretically, you should have a room or somewhere, a green room or something like that. But not always the case, huh?
We've gotten dressed in bathrooms before.
There you
I
go.
mean, we've been, again, fortunate. The venues that we performed at here in Denton, Mabel Peabody's and Abbey Underground, they've really, really gone out of their way to give us like dressing room accommodations.
Yes.
I mean, Mabel's, blocks off a whole area. They bought new curtains to put up and everything.
That is actually a cool little area back there. It's,
Yeah,
it's
it
very
is.
accommodating,
It
and
really
they can
is.
fit 5 or 6 of you guys in there.
I mean, you don't have like a row of mirrors lined up with proper lighting and whatever. But
Right.
I mean, you're hard pressed to find that anywhere. But
Right.
we've been really lucky. Everyone that we've worked with here is, like I said, gone out of their way to make us feel like they want us there, and they want us to feel comfortable.
Burlesque now, one of the things I love that you guys do is you do themes.
Yeah.
Like, when you and I talk about doing a show, and one of the first questions you always ask is what kind of theme you want to do. And I think this show that we got coming up here at the end of May, we're going to do steampunk.
That's in July.
Yeah. Is that in July?
The birthday show.
Oh, that's the birthday bash.
Yeah.
That's right.
As far as I know, we're not doing
Oh my
the May
God,
show.
there's 5,000. There's 5,000. Okay, so
Oh, I know.
you're doing the birthday bash, which will be July 19th at Abbey Underground.
Yes.
And we're going to do a steampunk theme.
Yes.
At least for the burlesque and for Bone Doggie. So
Uh-huh.
that'll all fit together very nicely. And but we've done like I think the last one we did was the Dirty City Chicago.
The Dirty City Dames, which was
the
kind
Dirty
of the blue
City
show.
Dames. That was awesome. Everybody did the fedoras and
Oh
just,
man, I was so impressed with everybody in that show. I mean, all the routines were just gold. I felt like I was the weak link. Like,
And no.
oh yeah, it's just like, oh man, I can't believe these people actually want to perform.
But it's not only costuming, it's also the music.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky enough, stage props and things like that.
Oh yeah, it's nice to have those when you have time to make them.
Yeah.
Which is never.
Or the finances to do so. But
I don't know. But yeah, when it comes to the themes, like Lemmy and I met up in, I don't know, December or so to figure out what we wanted to do for the year, and nothing is totally original. I mean, everyone's done it.
Everybody's done it.
But you try to put your own spin on it.
Yeah.
But we just try to think of like the quirkier stuff. Like, let's see, last year we had an Edgar Allan Poe themed Halloween show.
I didn't get to see that, but I heard it was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
fun.
It was. It was a little confusing for some people, which I understand. And then let's see, instead of doing a Christmas show, we did an End of the World show, and this year we're doing an Alfred Hitchcock show, which is about as far away from Christmas as you can get.
When's that good? When's that show?
We don't have a date. That'll be December.
Oh, very nice.
And then actually May 18th coming up, we've got a classic film noir show, which again, that's not exactly an original theme, but we're putting our own spin on it.
Right.
We've got Tequila.
That's May 18th. Where?
Mabel Peabody's.
At Mabel's. Good old Mabel's.
And,
they've become kind of a home for you.
Oh yeah. Pretty much all of our shows, all the Whiskey Tongue shows are there.
That's awesome.
And then that show, we've got Tequila Mockingbird, which I know you like her.
I love Tequila, and you know what? That is the greatest name ever.
That's what I said whenever she first added me on Facebook. I was like, I want to know this girl because that is the most awesome name.
That is the greatest name, Tequila Mockingbird, because I think Tequila Mockingbird, but Tequila Mockingbird.
And we've got Minxie Molotov,
Right.
and we've actually got our first boylesque performers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've got Red Eye and MT Molotov.
Well, okay.
So it's going to be pretty
And
cool.
who you hang around with some pretty heavy hitters in the Dallas area. Nikki Trash, of course.
Yeah.
And who else is on the roster? I know I've met some of them.
Oh man, see, this is the part I was afraid of. I'm gonna forget people's names.
A couple. Give us a couple.
We've done shows. Well, we've had guest stars.
Vivian Vermouth.
So, yeah, Vivian Vermouth with Bras and Panties. She was in our second anniversary show.
Viv's been around for a while.
Yeah, I can't remember how long she's been doing it. I know if I throw a number out there, I want to say like 6 years.
Yeah,
but she's a big name in Dallas.
Quite the name for herself.
Traveled everywhere. Of course, Nikki Trash. Ruby Manhattan.
She's
been with us pretty much from the beginning since the Andy
Ruby
show.
is awesome. I love Ruby, and she is one of the sweetest people ever.
Yeah, we were amazed. Like, we were actually doing a photo shoot, and she was there to do makeup for someone else.
Right.
And me and Lemmy were like, okay, we've done a show with her at this point. We really like her. Let's ask her to be in the troupe.
Awesome.
And of course, we're all nervous. We're thinking she's going to be like, no, thank you for asking. But she was actually really enthusiastic, and we were just like, oh my God.
She's a big supporter, and she supports the other groups and all that.
Yeah, she's performed. I mean, she's been performing for a while, and she's starting to get back out there and do stuff in Dallas and stuff.
Very
so
good.
that's cool.
Very good.
Starting to lose my voice.
Probably
Going
about time
through
for a break.
puberty.
Now, I know, and this is the hysterical part about it. This is what's funny. Your husband,
Yes.
Joshua Sinai, who I have known a wee bit longer than you.
Yeah, a little bit longer.
Is actually, both of you guys are two of my favorite people in the entire world. Josh has always been. He and I met at Banter at open mic 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? And
he used to go all the time.
I know that you have actually drug his butt up on stage once or twice.
Yes, I have.
And pelted him with great big cups full of glitter.
Glitter, yeah. Oh, man.
I think that's hysterical,
Glitter,
by the
I've
way.
whacked him with a paddle. I've put him in a collar.
You just get to beat the snot out of Josh on
Pretty
stage.
much. Yeah, and he really, people are always like, well, when are you going to do your own routine? Because they figure he's in a band, whatever. He likes being on stage.
Right.
He's totally like, if he could just make music and release songs without
Yeah.
playing shows. I mean, not that he doesn't like playing shows. He hates the attention and whatever. Like, he never knows what to say or do.
baloney.
No, he does. He really does. Most performers say that, but in a little bit of him likes it.
He's kind of a natural, though. That's the thing. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you put him up on stage, and he is the lead singer for
The Deadpan Poets.
Deadpan Poets. That's
Yes.
right. And you kind of tied up with the Poets. I mean, you book them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to stop doing that after his last band because I
Right.
do so much, but that wasn't going to happen.
This
so.
new lineup, though, is kind of exciting.
Oh yeah, it's
very
Josh, and he's got Matt Smith playing the drums.
Good old Dago Matt, who's actually a Hellraiser. He's
Playing
done
for a long time.
He's done 4 Hellraiser gigs, so he's actually a Hickory Street Hellraiser.
And then I got Jeff Price on the bass, Shane Heffernan playing guitar.
Shane Heffernan is from Lovesick
Funeral
Mary.
Drive and Lovesick Mary.
That's right.
And
Jeff is too, right?
the bass player as well. He's also with Lovesick Mary and Funeral Drive. We've got Neil Malley on keyboards and Kristen Lindsley on the viola, and
those,
she does backup
those are the
vocals.
2 new members that I have not met yet, and I'm looking forward. We're gonna be doing a gig with those guys here May 31st at Abbey Underground, along with Cirque del Morte, My Cats and Kittens. So you got Deadpan Poets, a freak show, and the Hickory Street Hellraisers.
That's an average Friday night.
That's an average Friday night. That's right. Well, speaking of Deadpan Poets, I think I've been waiting for this song for years.
As we all have.
We all have. I mean, it's so funny. It's half of my family has played this song.
Yep.
You know, and we've been waiting for a recording, and we finally got it in our greasy little paws the last couple hours here, My Cats and Kittens. This is the Deadpan Poets, and no, I'm going to let you introduce it. What's the name of the song, girl?
Man, you're making me do a lot of work here, man.
Yeah.
All right, this is the Deadpan Poets with County Line Road.
And you are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. Push the button, Max.
My body lies sound of County Line Road. And if I can't have you, then nobody can. My body lies south of County Line Road. Well, I was killed for a love never meant to be known. Should I be judged for all that I've done? Well, I've paid all my dues to her daddy's shotgun.
Buttons are pushed. We are back on the air.
I like pushing buttons.
You do like pushing buttons.
You see what I
don't you?
did there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I should have been a comedian.
You are a bit of a rebel rouser, really.
Not on purpose. I just don't like.
You do not suffer for the fool.
No, I don't. I don't like picking fights with anybody. But
Yeah, you do.
No, I really don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you
I
do.
see what you're doing here. No, I don't like picking fights. I just don't like stupid people, and I think you should call stupid people on their stupidity. So
Stupid people make the world go around in a
They do.
sideways motion. That's what. All right, my cats and kittens, we are back, and we just listened to County Line Road by the Deadpan Poets. That song reminds me so much of an old Western, you know. And maybe it's just weird. I get this kind of picture of Josh running around in old cowboy boots with 6 guns, and he's all dirty and dusty, and
Oh, I'd
he's
like to
actually
see that. That
facing the
sounds
wrong
pretty hot.
direction, and the other guy's down the street, you know, going to shoot him at high noon and stuff like that. So
now I'm gonna have to get him a cowboy outfit.
there you go. That's for another show, my cats and kittens. And I guess the burning question, we'll ask this and then we're going to sign off. But you get up there and you take your clothes off.
Mm-hmm.
Was that hard to get used to? Or was it just, you know, is there a mindset? I would imagine there's some kind of a mindset. You know, I mean, you don't take all of your clothes off, but you know.
No, you're required to have something covering. You got to wear pasties and
Yes.
then underwear or a merkin, which is basically a pasty for
Right.
down below. Or,
The parts.
Yeah,
yes.
you've got to have all the.
You got to cover your
The
parts.
really, really naughty bits.
The
covered up.
squiggly bits, the squiggly things.
Yeah.
Now that's going to ruin that whole thing. I probably ought to edit that out, but I'm not gonna. So, but yeah, you have a.
I don't know. I mean, I've been pretty fortunate. I'm not. I mean, everyone's got parts of their body they don't like or whatever or want to work on, but I've never been, at least as an adult, super self-conscious. I don't
Right.
really care what some random crowd member has to say, like
Right.
if they think I'm fat or.
One of the things I love about it is that none of you gals are little Barbie dolls.
No.
You're built like women.
Well, I mean, some
You
people.
know, and I think that's why modern burlesque is really, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's why modern burlesque has really caught on in a lot of circles, is because you don't have to look like a Barbie doll to do good burlesque. I mean, you know, you just have to be a showman and be a good performer, really.
I don't think, I mean, you've really had to look like a Barbie at any point. I mean, obviously to some people you do,
Right.
but, you know, and I mean, there's even people that look quote unquote like Barbies. I mean, someone's going to have something to say. Like,
Right.
And I remember reading a story about how a crowd member was like, she's only a C cup. Ugh. You know, and she's like this perfectly proportional.
She's not trying hard enough.
Yeah, beautiful woman, and you know, someone has something to say. I mean, someone's always going to have something to say, and that's something that you have to accept before you get on stage.
Right.
You
right.
can't get upset when someone says something.
Right.
You know, I mean,
no, alligator
everyone's-
skin. It's the same with any kind of a performer.
Yeah.
You know whether
Someone's
you
always going to give their opinion. Oh, you could have done that better. You could have done that. But what's important to me is feeling like I was prepared and I did my best. I mean, there's times when I forget things and I think,
Oh, yeah.
man, I wish I would have done that. But
You always have the train wreck gig, always, no matter what kind of performance you're doing, you have a train wreck.
you get all the choreography and whatever, and then you get up there and it's
Go
like,
blind.
generally our shows run pretty smoothly because I'm a real stickler about that. I don't
am
want
too,
big
yeah.
delays because then the crowd leaves, and people who paid to come see you deserve a show.
Oh, no, it should be seamless. It should
Yeah.
run and go bam, bam, bam,
Sometimes
bam,
the
bam.
behind the scenes stuff is not quite as
That's usually
smooth.
chaotic anyway, right? Yeah, yeah.
You can't find someone, or whatever.
You only got one pasty.
Yeah, or someone forgot pasty tape, or there's always
or
something.
Bone Doggie's trying to steal your eye patch and you won't give it to him, and you have a big 20-minute argument because I still want that eye patch and she won't give it to me. And
I told you I'd make you an eye patch.
All right, I'll take one. It's got to be black and red. So, okay.
Can I do it in like neon orange and yellow?
Can you picture
If
neon?
you're in a snowstorm, you're gonna want a neon orange eye patch.
Honey, you have been looking at this visage for years. Can you picture neon orange and yellow on this face? Don't answer that. Thank you so much for coming out. It's been great, and I do hope to see you very soon. In fact, I'm going to. When is your next performance?
May 18th at Mabel Peabody's.
And what's the theme of this? Is it a Whiskey Tongue show?
Yes, it's a Whiskey Tongue Burlesque. We're doing a classic film noir show. So
Who's going to be there?
Let's see. We've got me, of course, Lemmy Adams. We're actually only doing one routine each, and then we're going to MC.
Right.
So that's going to be interesting.
You're actually getting good at that, by the way.
I'm trying.
You
It's
are,
something
you
I
are.
want to do. Ruby Manhattan.
Yay.
Ginger Rockefeller.
I love Ginger.
Bethalicious.
Oh,
and then we've
Beth.
got,
Very cool. Who is all actually the lead singer from Love Sick Mary?
Yes.
Yep.
And I know we got this little incestuous group here.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. And that might not be the right word to use for this particular show, but I like it to go. So
Whatever.
Whatever.
I don't care. And then, like I said, we've got Red Eye and MT Molotov, our boylesque performers. I am personally excited about that.
That's kind of a newbie for you guys. That is kind of a newbie.
And then we've got Minxie Molotov and Tequila Mockingbird.
Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool.
I'm really excited. Really, really excited.
Yeah, and is there a cover for this show?
Yes, it's $5 for 21 and up, and $7 if you're 18 to 20. And the Deadpan Poets will be opening the show.
Awesome.
Like they always
Awesome.
do.
Like they
So-
always do. That's
and,
you got kind of your own built-in backup band, and I love that.
I know we're actually going to be doing a live music show to their music in
That was going to
June.
be my next question. Have you done routines to them actually playing live? Have you pondered that?
Lemmy, Bethalicious, and me did a New Year's show with Brave Combo, which was really fun, and we performed live to their music, and that's the
Awesome.
first time we'd done something like that.
Very cool.
Ever since we started doing shows with the Poets, we wanted to do a live rock and roll show, because
Right.
normally when you do burlesque to live music, it's to jazz or something.
Oh, yeah.
And but the band was still kind of getting together and whatever. So this show has been like over a year in the making,
Very
and
cool.
we're really excited to finally be doing it.
All
And if
right.
it goes well, I mean, you never know. We might take it on the road or something.
Well, there you
So,
go. That's
yeah.
something to work for. Well, honey, thank you so much again for coming out and doing this.
You're
And I
welcome.
think what we're going to do, since this is a special occasion and you've been so kind to come out and do this show,
I
we
didn't
are
realize
going
it was a special occasion. I wouldn't have come in my pajamas.
I wasn't going to mention that.
I would have put on some mascara.
At least, yeah. Well, I've got enough mascara on for both of us, so it's okay.
That's what that is. I thought maybe you were just taking like some
No,
vitamins
I
or
got
something.
punched actually, but no,
Okay.
that's not true. That's not true. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go out tonight with you. Give me the treat of bringing me County Line Road and coming in and doing the talk. So we are going to go out with show, and I'm going to give you a treat. This is a brand new, unreleased Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers tune. It's one of our favorites. It's going to be on our new CD. It is called Herr Vassar's Wife. It's a murder mystery. So
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
yeah.
Oh, we still got to do that murder mystery burlesque show.
wouldn't that be awesome?
There's so many ideas.
I know, just they just flittle around like that.
Only we
so.
could just do this every day.
Well,
Well,
I like that. I like that. I
You'd
like
get
that idea.
sick of it eventually, though.
Really? You think?
And then you got to put up with if you depend on performing to pay your bills, you got to put up with a lot of crap.
Yeah, you do.
See, now I don't have to do that. If someone makes me angry, I can just leave.
You could just punch him and then
I
leave.
could do that. I don't want to get even more of a reputation.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go find somebody and punch them, and then have a good evening. Thank you, my cats and kittens. You are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
I knew that you could. Push the button, Max. Ribbon Downs was a lovely town. Folks go round and never frown. All got along in Bremen Downs except for Vassar's wife. Now Vassar was a friend indeed to any troubled soul in need. Showed his generosity to everyone around. Vassar's wife was a mean old hag, dirty rag, shopping bag. All she did was nag, nag, nag. That was Vassar's wife. Then one dark and stormy night, Vassar's wife lost her life. Met her fate to a butcher's knife 47 times. They came from miles around to put her in the ground. Then they dug her up again, buried her upside down, 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 down. They called in Chief Inspector V from the Bremen Downs Constabulary to look into the mystery and the death of Vassar's wife. Then to business V got down, questioned everyone in town. Seems that all of Bremen Downs was somewhere else that night. They came from miles around to put her in the ground. Then they dug her up again, buried her upside down, 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 down. Well, they all had alibis, but V suspected lies. Try as he might, he now must say his reputation's live. No one knows who killed her Vassar's wife. V's finger pointed Vassar's way. He's guilty as sin. His looks give him away. Then someone in the back was heard to say, I did it, I confess.
No, I did it. I confess.
No, I did it. I confess.
No,
I did it, I confess. Well, I did it, I confess.
No, I did it. I confess.
No, I did it. I confess.
No,
what to pronounce.
Death by person or persons unknown.
Bremen Downs was a lovely town. Folks go round and never frown. All got along in Bremen Downs without Herr Wasser's wife.